Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of ChedTalks. Tonight's guest is a repeat, kind of. Well, we have some information for you that, unfortunately, last week we experienced a little bit of technical difficulties, and there were many more questions that were to be asked that we felt that we could have covered. And my guest, again, let me get into it a little bit about what Ched Talks about. Ched Talks about we're focused on resilience. We're talking to people that have gone through some stuff in their lives and really can help you as an audience. We can, our hope is to particularly attract millennials, the next generation, people that are perhaps entrepreneurs doing things for themselves that are going to go through some challenging times. And our guests here are ones that have gone through many things in their lives and come out the other end sparkling. Now, tonight's guest is one that's really going to light it up. He was our guest last week, and we had a phenomenal conversation that we want to continue tonight. Welcome to the stage, Wally Green. Hey,
how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Glad to be here again.
Good. I'm glad.
Rock and roll.
Right. I'm really happy to have you. You brought such a great energy last week. People had questions, and I'm hoping that we can touch base on some of those questions this week, and so they can you can elaborate perhaps a little bit more or give us a little bit of a feel of who Wally is. Now, if I'm going to recap a little bit for those who weren't logged in last week, so we talked a little bit about your childhood growing up. And how rough that was in gangs and the idea of having weapons in and around you, and then some challenges with your paternal mom and your stepdad, and some issues that had brought you to a tipping point. And then you evolved from there and went into what to become an athlete in ping pong. And that has served you well and brought you all across the world. And so one of my guests one of my users, someone logged in and they asked the question. They said they wanted to find out a little bit more about that part of your life, your parents, your mom. And I know you had said, you don't have much of a relationship with them right now, but can you talk a little bit about what that's like? How do you learn some of the lessons that you have to teach your own kids? And I know you said your paternal father was in the picture until he passed away not too long ago. So give us a little bit more about that and how you handle those kind of situations.
When I was growing up, so my I think I mentioned before, my dad and my mom divorced at a really young age. So I don't have any picture of my mom and dad. Neither do I have any mental picture of my mom and dad. It just doesn't exist. Like seeing them together, there's nothing. It's blank. Right. So that means they probably divorced when I was, I don't know, maybe one, I would think. Then she married someone else, and he was an abuser. So I grew up with my stepfather being an abuser to my mom all the time, and I don't know. It was really difficult because I was young and you always, as a boy, you always want to protect your mom, and you're not able to do it, because you're just too small or too young, and if you try to be on your mom's side, you'd get hit also and stuff like that. So that's the way it was growing up in that kind of family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we don't have to go through much of that now, but how long has it been since you've had any kind of contact with your mom?
It's been very, very, very long time. I attempted a contact with her years ago. I don't know, maybe like 6, 7, 8, maybe, I don't know, ago, and it wasn't good. And I just felt that I needed to just just worry about me and worry about my mental health and worry and take care of myself and make sure that I'm good, right?
Right.
I get a lot of times, people always say, "Oh, that's your mom," but for for me, it's yeah, it's the person that had me, yeah, but when my mom turned her back on me for me protecting her from him and still doesn't acknowledge. I mean, now she can't acknowledge now, but didn't even back then. Then that that would make me extremely stressed inside and extremely
Mhm.
tense inside, and I
Mhm.
didn't want to feel that way. So I thought it was best that I uh, just disappear from everyone.
Okay, so if she was willing to acknowledge now, I mean, I know it may not be easy to be able to discuss something like that. If she was able to acknowledge and maybe, I'm not sure if she's able to apologize or move forward. Um, is that still something that you wouldn't welcome?
Um, I, I, I don't even know. I mean, now from what I've heard recently, that she has like dementia now, so
Mm,
she's probably not even capable of even maybe even knowing who I am, more or less,
yeah,
being able to acknowledge that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just try to focus on me
right,
and one day at a time. Like just recently, this is like 3 days ago, uh
right.
my stepbrother died three
Mhm.
days ago.
Your
So
stepbrother?
yeah, like literally 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days
Yeah.
ago. And uh so my mom lives with my stepbrother in Ohio, right? And he died 3 days ago, and I don't know that family, right? Because I don't talk to them. I don't talk to
Mhm.
anyone. I've spoke to my stepbrother maybe like twice in the last, I don't know, 5 6 years, but both
Mhm.
times was actually last year. And and so I don't know his family really. I spoke to his
Right.
wife once ever. I don't know his kids. I don't know his family, and so I just I had to call there, right? Because I guess that was the right thing to do, to
Right.
call. And I mean, I didn't even know what to say. I didn't even know what I was gonna. I didn't even know how to say anything because I just don't know them. I don't know them like that. But I did call, and I apologized for what happened. Sorry that this happened. Yeah, and yeah, so
Well,
I don't know. It's been real crazy.
yeah, I can imagine. Must have, the last couple of days must have been hard.
Yeah,
Um, wow. Um, 3 days ago, I'm even shook. I can imagine how you must have felt because
but
I mean, regardless of whether or not it was a great relationship, this is someone that you remember as a child that you grew up with a little bit, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's the younger one that you mentioned
Yeah,
last.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
the craziest part about it was that a friend called me that I don't really talk to so much, but I started talking a little bit, and
Mhm.
then they he was like, "Yo, so what are you gonna do?" Like, because your mom died, and she's in Ohio, and maybe you have to take care of her, right?
Right,
And that just like, and I'm gonna be honest, that just stressed me the hell out. Like
right,
stressed me like insanely out because I can't even understand what that even means. Like,
right.
and yeah, so it's been intense. It's been intense couple of days, but it's good. It's good. It keeps me on my toes.
Wow. First of all, I'm really sorry to hear that about your stepbrother, and certainly there are choices that we make in our lives that we don't know how that's going to affect us later on, and that's why I'm always a big believer in treating people right, especially loved ones. If you get good people around you, you have to be able to know to cherish them and hold them close, because you never know what can happen. And in this case, you're left with a difficult choice there. And brother, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be in that position. So, as Doreen, I think, logged in, she says, keep going forward. And there's someone else, Ken says, rest in peace to him. Again, it's just keep moving, keep rocking it with your new family, man, and that's the best thing you can do. So let's talk a little bit then about your life as a ping pong player. Okay, tell me a little bit about that. I know you discussed the trip to Germany and how that kind of started and catapulted you into something else, and then you started competing internationally. How did that go?
So when I came back from Germany, I was pretty good, and I had a pretty high level, because that's all I did when I was in Germany, was play ping pong every day. Like, that was my job, except I wasn't getting paid. So I was playing every day, 8 hours a day. It was training, and came back at a very high level. And the biggest break came when I played this tournament that they had in Chinatown, and the guy that I was playing with against originally came from China, and we're playing this match, and every time he would make a point, he would go like "cho," like make this noise, and and so I was like, what? I was like, this guy's crazy, man. He don't know who I am. So I started getting even more crazy. I was like, that's it, baby. Come on, send him back. He can't beat you. I was just talking trash. So I started bringing this trash talk into the sport that had zero trash talk. Like, you never hear table tennis players trash talk ever. You never hear it. But I started doing that. So just trash talking. And at the time, Rockstar Games happened to be there. And Rockstar Games was actually scouting, right? Because Rockstar Games is a video game company that normally makes very violent games, like Grand Theft Auto, GTA. Like, they make very violent games. And they saw me, and they came up to me and says, hey, yo, we really like your character. Would you be interested in making a game with us? I said, yeah, I know Grand Theft Auto, of course. I'll do it. Let's do it. And he said, no, we're going to make a table tennis game. What? Because it's so weird that a company that makes violent games would make a table tennis game. And yeah, so I got on board. I helped them make the world's first table tennis game. It beat all the sports games for best sport game of the year. It beat everything: NBA Live, Madden, FIFA, you name it, all of them. And with that, when I did that, I thought, you know what? Let me ask these guys if they would sponsor me so that I could play pro, right? Because you need a ton of money to play pro. To go to these tournaments, you need at least maybe $50,000 for the year, right? And this is only expenses, right? At least, and that's minimum. And so I asked them if they would sponsor me, and they agreed to sponsoring me. So then that's how I was able to travel the world, playing all these pro tournaments. It was because they paid for it.
Wow, nice. So what country did you go to?
Oh my! It's not what country I went to. It's what country I didn't go to. I've been to pretty much every major country in the world. Like, I was living life on a plane. That's what it was. It was, in a year, I was never home. I was always traveling. I was always, and then I played tournaments that were stringed together. So, for example, you can see all your tournaments for a year, right? And let's say there's 15 to 20 in 1 year, right? There's only 12 months in a year, right? But what you do is, usually the tournaments are strung together. So let's say this month might be Japan, the next month might be Korea, next month might be China. So that's 3 months, right? In 3 months, I'm going to be in 3 different countries. So guess what? I got to find a place to live in Asia, and I got to pick a place that's going to be my hub, that I'm going to stay, I'm going to train there, and then I'm going to go from there to each other Asian country, play tournaments, then come back there. So that, and same thing with Europe. The same thing I did with Europe. So I try to play tournaments that are one after another, so that way I can just go in Europe and stay there for 5 months, and then just travel and play. And that actually costs more money if you think about it, right? Because I have to pay the to live, I have to pay hotels and stuff like that. So I was lucky to have the Rockstar Game sponsorship.
Okay, that's great to be able to secure that kind of sponsorship. And I think for those young people that are watching or may see this at some point, it's great information for them to think outside of the box. A lot of people, they kind of get boxed into, they all want to be either basketball player, football player, there are certain skill sets that they potentially possess and never thought about the opportunities that reside within those kind of, within those kind of, not only sport, but, just the endless opportunities that are available out there. And it's good to be able to, when you see something like this, and when you talk about something like, ping pong, opening those doors to you. Now tell us a little bit about those. What kind of doors? I mean, obviously you went to Korea and you went all over the place. You must have met some interesting people and some influential people that can really join your network and be good to call upon.
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy, the kind of doors that this sport has opened for me. I mean, I've done like almost every AP article in America. So, all these newspapers, USA Today, Good Morning, New York Times, Daily News, Wall Street Journal, you name it. I've probably been in it at one time. And with that, I was able to co-found a business, based off of that, which is ping pong. Like our business is ping pong. It's a ping pong bar, restaurant, lounge, nightclub. Through this, I was able to meet, the actress Susan Sarandon, right? And that's the co-founder also of our business. I got to walk the red carpet with Susan Sarandon in a major
film. Susan Sarandon is your own?
Yep.
Wow. Awesome.
And I got to walk, a red carpet, huge red carpet event in Shanghai with Susan Sarandon, and not only did I get to walk the red carpet with her, I didn't have to dress to look the part. And that was the coolest thing about it, right? The coolest thing about it wasn't walking the red carpet, even though it was a huge, huge event. The coolest thing about it was I got to wear what I wanted to wear, how I wanted to wear it, and just be me. Right. And then, because I remember when we were doing it, and I said, hey, I don't really feel comfortable with wearing like a tuxedo and stuff like that. And she said that, don't worry, just go the way you want. Be comfortable, be you. And I did. And I went with me. I wore a bling bling shirt, had a bling bling chain on, had some Jordans on, some Sean John shirts on,
blonde hair,
yeah, man. And I walked, it's on video. You can find it. I walked the red carpet just like that. But yeah, man. I mean, so many doors opened up because of this. And I mean, even and doors are still opening, they continued.
Right. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so what's next for you?
Oh man, so I mean, I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do. One of the things is my goal. I have to reach 100 podcasts by the end of the year, which I think I'm going to reach. I'm almost sure. I'm almost sure. I'm already at like 20 something. So I think I'm going to hit that. I think I made that goal a little bit too low because I didn't realize. Well, I didn't realize how obtainable that goal was, but now I do. Then, I have my book, which I started writing, but, it's going to take a while because I don't really like to write. Then I have my documentary film, which is about my trip in North Korea, So, those are the things that I'm working on now. And then one thing I really like to do, and I didn't realize that I love to do this until we made a film 2 years ago, called The Tables. And The Tables is a documentary about ping pong tables that I put in Bryant Park 10 years ago, and how these tables formed this amazing community of amazing people. And our documentary won numerous awards, 45 awards for Best Short Documentary. Could have gotten to the Oscars. Another film beat us and got in, and got picked up by National Geographic. And because of that film, I traveled all around the country, which I'd never done before. I've only traveled the world, I never traveled the country.
Right.
And I traveled all around the country. And in the process of doing that, I went to all these schools and all these boys and girls clubs and stuff like that, and spoke to children, the younger generation, and spoke to them about gun violence and gangs and how I grew up and how you can change your life and stuff like that. And then I realized that, whoa, man, I really like doing that. Like, that was so cool. Like, I just enjoyed talking to kids and trying to let them know that there's more than one way. It's not just one way. It's always change is always possible. It's always possible to change. You just have to be open-minded and look for that opportunity. So that was something that I love to do, and I'm probably going to do a lot more of. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. I mean, there's no better way to serve than to give back to the next generation. I think oftentimes, what I know to be true is that oftentimes we, the adults of this world, forget that we're the stewards. We're the ones that are left in charge. We're the ones that have to guide the way, and we're the ones that really have to look at the possibilities for the younger generation and not be intimidated or cast them away because they don't think exactly the same way we do. It's about bridging that communication gap, and you can do that by relating to them. And I think you're very relatable to some of these younger kids, man. These young cats, they think they know everything.
Yeah.
And when you're able to expose some of the things that you've been, whether it unfortunately came into your world or you're privy to, it really must have taught you a lot and would be a benefit to them. Someone asked just now, you must have learned in different languages. You see?
Yeah.
I knew the person was going to come up. Now tell them about your other language.
Yeah. So I've been to Japan 35 times at least.
Right.
And so I understand Japanese pretty fluently. I still can speak some of it. I can understand some German, and I still can speak very little bit of it. The only language that I really couldn't pick up, which was really, really difficult, was any Chinese language like Mandarin or the other one. It's a very difficult language to learn because of tones. So that was the hardest. I do know words, of course. I know a bunch of words, but I can't speak sentences. Right.
So your wife speaks Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah. And your wife's Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's great. I would love to have been able to speak a different language, man. So let's talk a little bit more about what else you have. Someone asked, here's a question. I'm in awe of you, someone said. Look at that, man. You're getting fans. So you light up when you talk about helping kids. Keep on going. That's definitely your calling.
I love talking to kids because kids are very interesting. They really can think deeply, and the questions they ask me are really amazing. And then to watch them, like in the beginning when they see you, they're not interested. This is how it works. Like just last week, I was in Tampa doing a podcast, and I had to go to a boys and girls club to talk. And I remember the first 5 minutes of it, they were looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? And why is there a ping pong table in the middle of the gym? Really? But I knew that. Yeah, you got to see. I could tell they were totally not interested at all, zero. And when I come in, I could see that. But I said, once I start talking, these kids are going to be, and I had them all pulled in. They wanted to take pictures later. Like it changed. It was unbelievable. And like those things make me really happy.
Okay. All right. So is there anything that you'd like to add? Is there anything that you'd like to say to the audience? We have a short time this week, so I just wanted to get in there, put some closure to our first conversation. Is there anything that you want to tell the audience? What would you like to share aside from your contact information, where they can reach you?
I think for me, the most important thing that I like to say is that, you know, change is always possible. I mean, you can be in the worst situation, you know, ever. And if it is the worst situation, you can't go down from the worst, right?
Right.
You can only go up. There's only up, and you have to believe that you can go up, and that there's so many different ways to go up, and there's so many different ways to get to where you want to be. You just have to be open-minded and willing to fight for it. And if you are, everything will change. So change, for me, change is always possible.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for that message. Now, is there anything that you want to promote? You talked about the documentary. Where can they find that? Where can they see that?
Oh, documentary is on National Geographic, so you can find it. It's called The Tables.
The table.
You have a problem finding it because sometimes I think National Geographic is doing a funny thing. I don't know if they're charging people now, or they're doing something strange. You can just DM me on Instagram,
All right.
Wally Green NYC, and I can always send you a link.
Okay. All right. So
Oh, did I cut off or did he cut off? Can people still see me? Let me see. Oh no, I'm good. Oh, he cut off. Oh, so if he cuts off. Hey.
Hey, bro, I'm so sorry about my computer. So I tried going out and I left the charger. And then just at the last minute, that's why I started wrapping so early. We were going to actually do the 45 minutes, but then I saw that the computer was out and I didn't have the charger in the studio. So I said, damn it.
Oh, man.
And then by the time, as soon as you said that, then as soon as you finished, it went dead.
Wow.
Well, Yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
That's fine. That's fine.
My fault.
That's fine. I thought it was.
But thank you again so much.
Yeah.
We got to stay in contact, though.
Definitely.
Whenever you hit Canada, you got to come to me.
Oh, definitely. I thought it was Spectrum because
No. It was not you this time.
no. I knew it wasn't me because I could tell from the signal as I'm doing it,
Right.
and I'm actually still on the thing. The time is still scrolling, so I'm just gonna come out of it.